savage. Serranos and hippos and mammoths. The hero was coming, I'm locked in. You know that I'm winning, I'm top 10. You know that I came from the dog pen. You want it, you get it, you drop dead. The rebel who came from the bottom. My enemies know that I got it. I'm planting my seeds in gardens, then watching them sprout and harvest. The greatest was always in my plans. Battle the kid is white flags. Not on my level where I stand. Got it, I'm shooting a hot hand. Out of the gym, I was locked out. I failed, the kid was a dropout. I changed the game and it's up now. The city, they need me, it's clear now. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
Sandman, I can tap dance through the energy blast. Run flat, never pop your orbit. I keep energy in storage. I see spinning the globe, my fingertip itch. If I could pluck the earthquake hit. Look at the wrist, look at your body, I shake it and shift. Big fish in a small pond, Godzilla with a boot on. I step into your lawn, turn skyscrapers into croutons. Hit the button going high speed, need a megaphone to announce me. I move through the pygmies in the top pick, gotta pick fleas. Sit back, better breathe deep. Look around and they looking at me. 10 toes still never defeat. Push button never needed a key. I see they ain't ready for me. Hot boy still 100 degrees. I cross eyes and I dotted the T's. E&D till I leave in peace.
Giving the damage. The people is giving the... The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
I give it all that I got will never stop. I give it all, straight to the top, will never stop. I give it all that I have, I let it be, 'cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. Yeah, all that I got, I give it everything. They lost the plot, they think I'm menacing. They wanna talk, but I ain't settling. Circle it all. They want me fucked, I never blow. I give it all. Whoa. What you say, my man? Give it all. Whoa. Hey, give it all. Whoa. Yeah, stand tall. Give it all. All that I have, I let it be, 'cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. What do you think when people look at me? 100 degrees tougher than Booker T. Couldn't agree more, but could it be? I think higher than them all. Truthfully, my pen fire and then some. A body addendum. Take this whole thing for ransom. Give it all I got for attention. Not a mention of life well lived, for instance. Give it all.
the Firelands conference opener for these two foes as Mapleton travels into St. Paul territory for this Saturday night showdown. Mounties and Flyers live and free next on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
Look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
pregame show coming to you live and free on the OH Report here at Contractor Stadium in Norwalk, Ohio on a just picture-perfect Saturday night here, Joshua. What a change in temperature from where we were last Saturday when we were here. It was quite chilly. Not quite ready for those temperatures yet, but it is just beautiful here tonight. And this Firelands Conference opener, both these teams trying to kind of reset their seasons. The non-conference portion of the schedule didn't really work out well for either one of these teams. Mapleton coming in 1-2, Norwalk 0-3. And we were here obviously last week for the St. Paul game. They struggled again offensively. We'll see tonight if they can rectify those problems on the offensive side of things and get back in the win column.
Yeah, looking for win number 1 of the season of the Flyers. 2 consecutive weeks they've been at home. Last week we were here again, as you stated. They played a phenomenal game defensively and just couldn't get off the hook on offense. Landon Freese runs a 90-yard kickoff return back for a touchdown. That was their first touchdown of the season. So they really got to kind of figure something out. Mapleton comes in 1-2, like you said, but they come off a 47-7 thumping that they took from the Northmore Golden Knights a week ago.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of teams come off games like that against Northmore. Let's take a look, though, a little bit closer at the Mapleton Mounties this season. As we mentioned, coming into this game 1-2 under first-year head coach Mitch Young, one of the youngest coaches in the area at just 23 years old, as he tries to continue the success that Mapleton has had in recent years, 4 straight trips to the playoffs.
Continued success and continued success of the wing T offense that they run that we're going to see tonight. You and I were kind of talking about it before we went on the air. We're curious to see how they're going to kind of try to spread out this Norwalk defense, because in the middle last week against Calvert, they really played well defending the run. How is Mapleton going to adjust to that with the film that they watched to be able to use their ground game? But they're going to have to put it in the air tonight if they want to win.
Yeah, well, last week against Northmore, they had no success through the air. They had 0 yards passing in that loss to Northmore. Let's take a look at one of the players we're keying in on for Mapleton here tonight. And you had an impressive week 1 performance in the win against Loudonville. It's Gabe Osborne.
Yeah, Gabe had 2 touchdowns in week 1 against Osborne. 2 touchdowns in the last 8 minutes, mind you, to secure that victory. So he really turned it on when the time called for it, and they're going to need 48 minutes out of him tonight if they're going to win this game.
Yeah, 10 carries, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns, all coming in the final 8 minutes of the game in that week 1 win versus Loudonville. Let's look at the St. Paul Flyers now, coming into what has oddly become familiar territory, at least this year and last year. 0-3 to start the season, not where they're used to, as they try to get in the win column under head coach Chris Doughty in his first season.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, last year they finished the season 8-4. So they won 7 of their last 8, which would obviously include a playoff win. I mean, not much more you can ask for. It's kind of St. Paul football. They always find a way to get a win, and they turn it on at the right time every year.
Yeah, I mean, they had a gauntlet of a schedule to start the year, going up against Huron, Edison, and Calvert. Those teams are a combined 9-2, and in those 3 losses, being outscored 89-8. They are still searching for their first offensive touchdown of the season. We'll see if they can get that here tonight against Mapleton. And one of the players that they'll look to get that touchdown here tonight for St. Paul, we saw him last week. Landon Freese, he had the touchdown.
90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Their only touchdown of the season comes on his legs, and he was really the focal point for their offense last week, as if he wasn't taking snaps from the backfield, he was the go-to receiver. If he wasn't the go-to receiver, he was lining up in Wildcat. He even attempted a couple passes last week and went 1 for 2.
Yeah, he had a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That was their only score on the season. 41 carries, 83 yards, and that kickoff return for a touchdown. As the Flyers get set to run through the banner, we got like a beach theme here tonight, I think. Hawaiian night or something with the student section.
Seems to be. I see some Hawaiian shirts down there. One thing I love seeing, though, is it's Saturday night, and they got a student section out here. Last week, they were out here supporting. This week, they're out here supporting. you wouldn't think that this Flyers team was 0-3 when you look down at their stands.
Yeah. Well, such a proud program, too. You know, they consistently win this conference. They're always in the playoffs. As the Flyers come out. So important tonight for them. We talked about this a lot last week. Just score early. Get all of that pressure off about not scoring offensively yet this year. Just, I think as soon as they do it, it's gonna come naturally to them, and they're gonna all just kind of collectively exhale and get back to St. Paul football.
And Mapleton is going to start off with the football tonight, so we'll see how this St. Paul defense is going to defend this wing T look and how Mapleton's going to handle the pressure that the front seven for St. Paul gets. It's going to be a real interesting evening. Both of these teams wanting to compete for a conference where I think the front runner right now would be Monroeville, who St. Paul plays in Week 10 at their place.
This has been our NOMS Access Orthopaedics pregame show as we are now set for kickoff. Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday night. Andy Jardy alongside Joshua Banks. Adam here directing, Shane on camera. This might be a quick game, too, depending on how these offenses operate tonight. With that wing T offense from Mapleton, St. Paul has struggled to get anything going through the air. This might be a game where you have to take advantage of the ball when you have possession of it because there might not be too many possessions.
Well, and I know last week we talked about when we were here when they played Calvert, that game was played we both felt like between the 30 and the 30.
Yeah.
Neither team really got past the 30-yard line. Calvert did a couple times, and then St. Paul did once when they ran the kickoff back for a touchdown. Somebody's offense eventually has to click for things to go right. We thought St. Paul running back that kickoff for a touchdown would really kind of give them that push that they needed, and unfortunately it didn't.
Nate Griffin's kick is a short one, takes a bounce at the 40, and it's loose. And the Flyers think they've got it, waiting for the signal, and they do.
St. Paul starts it off with an onside kick and recover it. They're going to start on Mapleton's side of the field at what might be their best starting field position that we've seen them have all year.
There's your Civista Wealth Management replay, and yeah, they put it where nobody was. It was an excellent placed kick there by Nate Griffin, and it's exactly the kind of start the Flyers were hoping for. Now can they do it offensively?
Expect to see a heavy dose of number 24.
Handoff goes for a couple, but a good run there on first down by Nick Pocus for a couple.
That was the other back. If it wasn't Freeze last week, it was Pocus. Those are really the two featured backs on this offense, as he's going to get 3.
Pocus leads the team in tackles with 24, and due to injuries, he's moved from center to running back, where he's got 25 carries, 86 yards on the season. And this time the Mounties, a whole pack of them waiting there, makes it 3rd and long.
They went to that power formation, and Mapleton kind of shifted everybody into the box, and they blew that play up on the inside. That play had no chance.
Yeah, Freeze had nowhere to go on that. And we saw this a lot last week where, you know, a play for a loss or an untimely penalty would really derail any sort of momentum. And here they are now, 3rd and long.
And this is where they struggled last week. 3rd down situations is now you're going to see Freeze split out wide. They're going to put him in motion, give him a handoff, try to get him to an edge. He is going to get an edge, and he's going to be to about the 32-yard line. And he's going to be 5 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, Freeze on the end around. Looked like there was almost a fumble on the snap right there. So this will be a 4th and 3. Flyer offense going to stay out there. I think this is the right call to go for it here with try to capitalize on the onside kick recovery.
You don't really have much of a choice. It's too close to punt. You don't trust your kicker. Go for it, see if you can get 3 yards.
Might try to get him to jump. And it's going to be a pass, and he's got his man. Did he maintain possession? He did, and it's just enough for a Flyer first down. So take a look at the replay. Just did get the throw off. And a nice job bringing that catch in, Connor Lindenberger. Toss goes to the outside. He's got a room, and he's going to take it in for the Flyers' first offensive touchdown. It's Nick Pocus. Hocus Pocus, spooky season is here.
And that was a great job by that Flyer line to seal the edge, get Nick Pocus the corner, and once he got through that tackle, there was nobody going to stop number 28.
So the Flyers get on the board first. It's their first lead of the season, their first offensive touchdown of the season. And we'll see, is this going to be same old like we saw last year? 0-3 to start, and then they got rolling once conference play began as the extra point is up and good. 7-0 Flyers. The Mounties will try to answer on the other side. Back here at Contractor Stadium, a 7-0 Flyers lead as Nate Griffin gets set to kick it off again. And Mounties will be on high alert after the little onside squib kick was placed perfectly at the 40 and the Flyers recovered it. We'll see now if they kick this one deep, try to find the open spot again in the kick return. This one will take a bounce and go out of bounds. So the Mounties will start with some decent field position as we take a look at our keys to the game here for Mapleton, Josh, to come on the road here and get a win. What do they have to do?
Offensive balance. We know they're a wing T offense. We know they want to run the football. You're going to have to kind of get it out in space a little bit, trust your quarterback to sling it around a little bit, see what he's capable of. Senior Logan Conroy is going to have to be given a little bit more space tonight. And then we watched last week Calvert force a couple turnovers. They're going to have to force some turnovers tonight if they want to leave Contractor Stadium victorious.
This has not been a friendly matchup for the Mounties. St. Paul went 30-3 versus Mapleton under former coach John Livengood, and St. Paul won last year's meeting 49-30 over in Mapleton. So we'll see how they respond here with that wing T offense. Handoff goes to Mason Sword, and it'll be a loss on the play.
Going to be a loss of 1, and there's Landon Freeze again, our player spotlight, making a tackle in the backfield.
And we saw it last week, too. I mean, the Flyer defense played well enough to win. The special teams played well enough to win. They just couldn't get anything going offensively. But to get that offensive touchdown early, I think it's just going to make everybody else relax. We'll see how the Mounties can respond, and that's a good way to do it with the run up the middle there to make this a 3rd and short.
Yeah, he's going to get about 9 yards, and that's your typical run out of this wing T. You bring your jet in motion, you hand it off to your fullback up the middle. Your offensive line gets any type of push. He's normally the strongest kid on the field at that fullback spot. He's going to get 5-6 yards of carry.
Yeah, it's officially a gain of 9 on the play, so this will be 3rd and 2, ball at the 43 in this opening quarter, opening drive for the Mounties. Handoff up the middle, it's going to be enough for a first down. That's Colton Whitman, the ball carrier. Senior running back and linebacker. He was honorable mention all Firelands at inside linebacker last season. As we've got a Mountie down. Looks like that's Shaw Dreebless.
He's up walking off his own. Probably a cramp. The heat today, we've seen a lot of it last night. I know you've seen a lot where you were. I seen some over at River Valley where I was. We were talking about before the game. These kids just don't like to hydrate.
Yeah, I don't know if he cramped up or, as you see probably so often with that wing tee offense, someone might have just rolled up on his ankle too, but good to see him up and walking under his own power. Hopefully we'll see him back out there here soon.
As you see the beautiful view from our GoPro camera, this gorgeous stadium here in Norwalk, Contractor Stadium, one of the best venues that we go to.
Yeah, much better to be with the sun at your back as opposed to Centerburg last night where I was, where we cooked in the first quarter in that press box. Here's a handoff on the end around, cutting up for a couple of yards there. Landon Jenkins, the freshman, gets a few. It's just so many different ways to run this offense, and you got to stay disciplined on the defensive side of things to stay on your assignments and not let this wing tee eat you alive.
Well, and it's when you run it successfully, you get this jet motion going, you give it to your wing backs, and then eventually you run an inside counter or you run an inside reverse with both your backs, and that's where this offense becomes dangerous.
Gain of 3 makes it 2nd and 7. All sorts of misdirection in the backfield.
And that's that counter I was just talking about. They fake it to the outside guy. Quarterback fakes that handoff, turns around with the left hand, hands it off inside. Everybody's flowing to the motion, and they just come right back inside with the opposite guy.
Jenkins on the carry makes it 3rd and 2. The ball did come out, but the official said he was down. Mounties converted their other 3rd down so far on this drive, trying to make it 2 for 2.
I thoroughly expect this ball to go to the fullback.
And that is where they'll give it, and he's got enough for 1st down. Looks like he gained about 5 on the play. Keeps the drive alive.
And that's exactly what you do in this offense. They're going to give him a gain of, looks like 4. It's exactly what you want to see him do. Get yourself in 3rd and short, and you've got your big guy in the backfield that you know he can fall forward for 2 yards behind the offensive line.
Yeah, and with no passing yards last week against Northmore, they need to find themselves in 3rd and shorts. And of course, right on cue, they come out and throw a pass downfield and almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of Colton Lindenberger.
Chase Sword. Again, you're man-to-man out there. That's kind of the throw you trust. But if you're Lindenberg, you don't want to make that pass because the DB out there definitely has a size advantage. So unless Sword can just flat out fly and outrun that guy, that's a risky throw.
So it will be 2nd down and 10, 7:16 to go here, opening quarter. Conroy under center, he hands it off and fighting for a couple of yards, but not much. That's Gabe Osborne, who we highlighted in the pregame, and a late penalty flag does come in.
We're going to have unsportsmanlike conduct on the Mounties.
So it had to be, something had to have been said because there wasn't any
extracurriculars.
There wasn't any shoving or late hits or anything like that, but something must have been said. Still waiting for the official signal here.
I was on Osborne, the ball carrier.
So he must not have liked the way that he was brought down. Maybe something in the scrum there. But that's a huge penalty. We just talked about, having to be in 3rd and shorts with the way that this offense runs. That is going to back them way up.
It's going to be a 15-yarder. That's going to take you from 2nd 8 to 2nd 14. 2nd 23.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's a little bit more. And it was a dead ball, too, so the down counted. So it's 3rd and 24.
And this is where this offense is very difficult to run. You are in a passing down right here. You have to throw the football if you're the Mapleton Mounties, and you're just not made for that.
So here we go, 3rd and 24, and they will roll out. Conroy takes a shot downfield. He's got a man open, and it is complete, but it will be short of the first down. But a nice pitch and catch there to Tyson Welch. Gets most of the penalty yardage back. But a nice throw there, finds the big fella downfield.
Great job on the rollout. 17 yards on the completion. And we're going to see the Mapleton Mounties offense stay on the field here and go for it on 4th and 7. That's a risky call.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck in that area again too, where, you know, obviously too far for a field goal, maybe too close for a punt, but we'll see what they do here. 4th and 7. They fake the handoff.
The handoff again. He's got the tight end wide open over the middle field again.
I think this is coming back, though. There is a penalty on the play. Looked to be in the area of holding, or a chop block is what they're going to call. So that'll wipe out the first down. So this will back them up and most likely put them into a punting situation now. That's unfortunate too, because they had enough for that first down.
Yeah, they had enough for a first down and some. They were inside of the Flyers' 30-yard line, and now they are going to send out the punt unit.
So 2 crucial penalties here will stall the Mounties' drive. Freeze back to receive the punt. Sword will kick it away. It's a low kick. Going to take a couple bounces. And Freeze will take it at about the 17-yard line. And nice tackle there by Mason Sword. So the Flyers will take over. 5:45 to go here, first quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 24. See if this Flyers offense can do it again.
See what they're able to do from deep in their own territory. Last time they recovered the onside kick, they were inside of the Mapleton 40-yard line when they started that drive, so they made that look easy. Let's see what they can do from here.
The Flyers are going to take their first timeout. For those of you tuning in, make sure to drop us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering for.
Hey, I must say, we got the fan zone pulled up right now. If you comment, we're gonna shout you out. You talk to us, we'll talk back. We'll do our best to keep up, because sometimes these fan zones can get pretty crazy and be difficult for us to keep up with. We'll do our best.
Adam's the one that's got to keep up with that.
We'll see what St. Paul wants to do here offensively, as everything kind of worked well for them in the last possession. But again, they were inside of the Mapleton 40 when they started that drive.
Handoff and falling forward for maybe a yard on the play was Pocus.
They're going to give him a yard. Pocus been the heavy go-to guy so far.
Yeah, he had the touchdown run on that opening drive.
He had all the carries on that drive except for one.
2nd and 9 from the 25. And it's a toss to the outside. It's Pocus again. Cuts across the 30, 35, where he spun out of bounds around the 37, but it's enough for a Flyer first down.
He's going to get about 10 on that carry. And if you're St. Paul, keep feeding Pocus. He's got the hot hand right now.
Yeah, he's having himself an impressive start to this game. This Flyer offense already looks completely different than what we saw last week. But here, the Mounties, they've been able to hone in on Freeze. Pocus has been giving them the issues.
Freeze is going to lose about 5 yards on the play.
Garrett Garwood in on the tackle, the junior.
Going to lose 6 on the play.
Backs them up to the 30-yard line.
Pocus has 5 carries for 47 yards already on the evening.
Handoff. Freeze trying to fight his way forward, gets a few.
It's going to get about 3.
I would say maybe 3 on the play. This will be a 3rd and long. Chance for this Mounties defense to get a big stop. Let their offense get back out on the field. And it was an offense that was moving the ball, but 2 big penalties really killed the drive.
25 yards and 2 penalties really kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, not what you want, especially on the road.
And we're almost through a quarter, and knock on wood, we haven't had a penalty flag on the Flyers yet. They haven't shot themselves in the foot yet. Hopefully no announcer jinx.
Yeah, they had quite a few last week in that loss. Taking a shot downfield, and it's knocked away at the last minute. Great defense there.
Logan Conroy, their quarterback, playing a little free safety there and does a great job of timing that just right for the breakup.
There's our Civista Wealth Management replay. And it's a good throw, but knocked away. Quarterback to quarterback there, Conroy knocking it away.
As Freeze is going to go back to punt.
Mason Sword awaiting his punt. Nice high kick. Fair catch called for, and did it touch him, or did he get away from it? And a penalty flag is going to come in.
Kick catch interference, I bet. He called the fair catch. They didn't give him room to make the catch. I'm going to guess is what they're going to call here.
Yeah, I mean, the penalty flag was thrown near where Sword was trying to catch that. They're going to discuss this here. But I think you're right. I think that's the only thing that they could be discussing here is kick-catch interference.
Because it looked like Sword came up to make the catch. The St. Paul Flyer was flying down at him, didn't give him room to be able to come up to make that catch. When he came up to make it, he kind of had to fall back.
I think they're going to wave it off. We'll take a look at it and see if we see anything here on this. And
he's within a yard. I mean, you almost have to give that room. However, there was no contact made.
So they wave off the penalty. 3:23 to go. Mounties' second drive here, as we talked about too. They had some success moving it on that opening drive, but 2 big penalties forced them into a punting situation. We'll see what they do the second time around. Handoff up the middle. And picking up maybe 4 on the play. Colton Whitman.
He's been their horse so far here in the first quarter, Whitman. But again, the thing about this offense, and we've seen it covering Lucas, when you run a wing T, this defense can put 9 guys in the box, play man-to-man, and have 1 guy shadow to watch for that reverse. That's really all you got to do.
Yeah. Everyone's just got to stick to their assignments. It is a gain of 4, so 2nd and 6. And it's an option pitch to the outside. And Sword falls forward. It's going to be a 3rd and about 2. This is the kind of 3rd down situations they want to be in.
Again, this is a situation where you thoroughly expect the ball to be handed back to that fullback, Colton Whitman again. 2 yards. You trust him to fall forward for that amount of yards. Your line's going to get the push they need to get, and he's going to fall forward to get the yards that need to be gotten.
2:08 and counting here in this opening quarter. Conroy Handoff, and he is going to be
Whitman got
short.
stuffed.
The Flyers were ready for it. I don't think he gained anything.
They might give him a yard.
Yeah, it looks like they will give him about a yard. So it's 4th and a long 1. And we'll see what they do here. Looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, I don't see the punt team coming out. And it looks like it's Cameron Nichols under center, not Logan Conroy.
Handoff, and he looks to have enough for the first down. Colton Whitman.
They kind of switched up the formation a little bit, kind of got out of the wing tee. They went to like a more of a power set. Gave it to Whitman on more of like an off tackle. Let him do what he needed to do to get that 1 yard.
So the Mounties rolling the dice there on 4th and 1. Gamble pays off. That keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10 at the 47, just under a minute to go here, opening quarter. Conroy rolls out, looking downfield, and he dumps it off, and he's got Whitman, and Whitman's got enough for the first down. He's still going. 35, 30, 25, 20, lowers the shoulder. He's inside the red zone. Big first down here for the Mounties.
And that was well played by the Mounties, and that's that passing game that we both said that we needed to see.
Just a little flick of the wrist. Whitman would not want to be on the other end of Colton Whitman. That was lowering the shoulder.
That was a boom that he just dropped on that St. Paul Flyer, and that's a 29-yard completion.
Gets him inside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 18, and that was a mess of a play in the backfield. All sorts of confusion. Going to go for a loss there.
And that's that little inside counter they like to try to run. Blown up.
Jack Keener ended up with the ball there, but everyone sort of ended up in the same place at the same time. But that is going to do it for the first quarter. 7-0 Flyers, but the Mounties in the red zone trying to tie it up. We'll be back live and free on the OH Report. Back here in Norwalk, not in Hawaii, as the student section might make you think, but it is 7-0 Flyers after 1. Mounties in the red zone trying to answer. Andy Jardy alongside Joshua Banks. Thanks for joining us here this lovely Saturday night here. Week 4 of the high school football season, week 1 of Firelands conference play. It is 79 degrees here as the second quarter starts, and the end around and stumbling. Oh, he might have been hurt on the play.
Definitely was.
Oh, yeah, you could see it before contact was even made. Keener.
That's a scary injury. That's one of those non-contact injuries.
Yeah, that's, you hope he's okay, but yeah, you could just see him coming up before the play even happened, and we'll take a break while he is down and hope he's all right.
like to thank our generous sponsors allowing us to bring you live and free high school football on a Friday night. Contractors, design, engineering, one-stop shop from project conception and design to final construction. NOMS Access Orthopaedics. Orthopedic services in Norwalk and Sandusky, accepting new patients now. Miller Excavating, using the latest technology to provide a full range of earth-moving services for local builders, businesses, and multi-facilities in Lorain and Erie County. Civista's Wealth Management, committed to developing generations of lifelong relationships built on trust, expertise, and exceptional service. Home and Kitchen Supply, your one-stop shop for kitchen and baths, windows and doors since 1970. And of course, Sutton Bank. Earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa.
Back here, 3rd and 11, and trying to get to the outside, but unable to do so. The Flyers were waiting for him. Gabe Osborne nowhere to go. It's going to bring up a 4th and long.
That's kind of what we expected out of this Flyer defense. What we got to see all of last week was how dominant they were up front. That first Mounties drive kind of made it look like, it may not be the same way tonight, but now they are showing that they're the real deal.
And it looks like the Mounties will go for it. Should mention, too, that Jack Keener was able to get up and walk off the field very gingerly. Wasn't putting a lot of weight on his left leg. And I think we're going to have a timeout here. Play clock was down. So the Mounties will take a timeout. That is their first timeout. They've got each team now with 2 remaining here. 10:46 in the second quarter. So a big 4th and 15 here as the Mounties try to stay with possession of the ball here. They've been able to move it, but a couple plays have knocked them back. A couple penalties have cost them, and now they're 4th and long here for an offense that doesn't throw the ball downfield too often.
Well, I tell you what, we keep saying they don't throw the ball downfield often, but they've got 2 completions tonight for 47 yards, 46 yards. I know they don't throw it a bunch, but they run the ball so much that when you run that motion action and you roll the opposite way of the motion, it leaves that guy crossing the field almost wide open because everybody flows to that motion side of the field. It just makes the quarterback's job a lot easier. Now, one thing I've noticed is even with that motion action they're giving, St. Paul's done a really good job of containing the quarterback and not giving him very much time to make that read downfield.
We'll see what they draw up here. 4th and 15, Conroy under center. And he's dropping back to pass, and he's under pressure. He's going to get out of the pocket, try to pick it up with his feet, and he is going to be well short of the first down. So the Flyer defense stands tall again, forcing a turnover on downs.
Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. But again, we're back in a situation where we just watched it. St. Paul did a great job on that first drive when they started in plus side. When they got flipped, they couldn't really move the ball when they were deep in opponent territory. As we got a flag.
Yeah, that play looked awkward from the start in terms of movement and not everyone moving at the same time. We'll see.
The play wasn't killed immediately, so I'm curious to see what happens.
I think it might have been a shift, an illegal shift perhaps. They're asking Mapleton if they want to accept or decline, so I believe it is going to be against St. Paul.
Illegal shift. Yes, sir. It's an illegal shift on St. Paul.
So that'll back them up even closer to their own end zone now.
It's going to be a 5-yarder. This is where we have to see what this St. Paul offense brings to the table tonight. Kind of what we've seen last week. When they started in Calvert territory, they were able to get a little bit of things going. But when they were back deep in their own territory, they struggled, as they did in their second drive of the evening.
1st and 15 from the 12, handoff, and nowhere to go on that one.
Might give him 2.
Pocus the ball carrier. Lucas Jenkins with the bear hug of a tackle.
You see teams like this, and it's exactly what you expect. They're mean up front. Their front 7 are really good on both sides of the ball. Nobody's really been tested on the outside yet because neither team really wants to play that game. We've seen St. Paul take a shot downfield. It was knocked away by Conroy.
It's a gain of 2, 2nd and 13, and it's a pass to the outside. It's Freeze trying to make a couple defenders miss, and he does, and he is through the defense. Can he take it all the way? 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Landon Freeze. He is so explosive.
86 yards, and that's the explosion that we seen on that kickoff return last week. I seen it last night in Ontario, or at River Valley with Bob Miller. Both of those Mounties had the angle. He just used acceleration to beat them all down the field.
Just a quick little screen pass to him, and he took it all the way in. So much for starting deep in your own territory. What's the issue?
One play.
And the extra point attempt is up and good. It is 14-0 Flyers after the 86-yard touchdown reception by Landon Freeze. Flyers cooking at home right now. We are back here in Norwalk where the St. Paul Flyers have a 14-0 lead after an 86-yard touchdown reception by Landon Freeze on the Grant Coonley pass. And we got a couple comments coming in right now. Ben Trimmer, go Big Red. Plymouth fan chiming in. Just loves some high school football. He's just wanting an entertaining game. And another squib onside kick attempt there. Dwight Forney commenting from Rockford, Illinois. It's the beauty of the OH Report. You can tune in from anywhere.
All over the world. We get people from everywhere that watch these games live and free, and it's the beautiful part of what we do, Andy.
Yes. Always cool to see where people are commenting from. So if you want to get a shout out here on the Fan Zone, drop us a comment on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you might be watching.
That was Rockport, Illinois. Let's see if anybody from further away is watching.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're at.
We'll see if the Mounties now can mount a drive here, and that's a good way to get one going. Lowering the shoulder again is Colton Whitman. He's just a wrecking ball back there.
That is a body that I would not want to be in front of when he has a head of steam.
It's a gain of 12, so 1st and 10 right about at midfield.
As he's got majority of their positive rushing yards on the evening.
5'9", 210, the senior Colton Whitman. It's a Mapleton team trying to win its first Firelands Conference championship since 1991. Their only one.
Trying to go to Whitman again, and this time he's met at the line of scrimmage by the entire defensive front for the Flyers.
Tristan Nikolai, Raphael Gross in on that tackle.
Tristan Nikolai, a really good player defensively, a name that we called a lot last week while we were here on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, he was all over the field last week in that loss, tough loss to Calvert. And this run going to make it 3rd and about 4.
Conroy again. 3rd and manageable.
And we've seen they have not been afraid to go for it on 4th down if it gets to that. So probably looking at 4 down territory here. 2 plays to pick up 4 yards. We'll see if the Mounties can do it.
Colton Whitman's probably the go-to again here. 4 yards, 2 carries. I think he gets that in 2 carries normally.
See, this might be an opportunity to throw it too, maybe catch the defense by surprise. And it is a play action. Conroy keeps it, and he's still going. He's got enough for the 1st down. Makes a couple defenders miss. Lowers the shoulder.
Through a defender.
Still going. He's brought down inside the 30, but it is more than enough for a Mounties 1st down. Conroy keeps it, and then shifty little moves, lowering the shoulder, falling forward for some extra yardage.
I love to see that too, because you normally see kids at this level, when they get an edge like that, they keep trying to go east-west to get to a sideline. Conroy's not trying to go east-west. He went and met the contact and ran through the contact.
And Conroy fakes it, and he's looking to pass it. And he is under pressure, but he is going to turn nothing into something. Picks up about 4 on the play.
Pressure in the backfield, steps through it. A great job defensively by number 44, Gunnar Cluting.
Yeah. Good job by Cluting to prevent that from going for more than it did. 6.5 minutes to go here. As you take a look at Cluting, just throwing him down there by the jersey. Whatever it takes. Play clock down to 5. They do get it off in time, and they give it to Whitman.
Gonna get maybe 2.
Yeah, not much on that play. Nate Sandor in on the tackle.
Kind of showing a little bit more wrinkles to that offense too. They come out a couple plays ago when Conroy had the big run in shotgun. They bring a jet motion across. He keeps it off the left side. So showing some wrinkles to this little wing T they like to run.
Well, this feels very similar to the Calvert game last week for St. Paul, where it felt like Calvert was able to move the ball, then they just could not do anything when they got down to this area of the field, and that play goes for nothing, and it'll bring up a 4th down. It's almost like a bend but don't break defense from the Flyers here the last few weeks.
Absolutely, and after the first couple games, you kind of look at the scores, but the thing that people have to understand is who they play.
Oh, yeah.
Huron, Edison, then you play Calvert last week, who we were speaking about before, are Mohawk's only loss of the season, and Mohawk went into North Robinson last night and pummeled the Eagles.
Yeah, it's all about that 6 degrees of separation. You start comparing the teams that have played each other. Here's a big 4th down attempt, though, and it is going to go nowhere. The Flyer defense once again.
It's going to go backwards.
They refuse to yield, and it's another turnover on downs, another drive stalled inside the 30. And the Flyers will take over.
And they do a great job. Again, bend but don't break. They're not allowing the Mounties to establish any type of rhythm. They'll get 5 yards, and then they're going to blow it up in the backfield on the very next play.
And Mapleton will take a timeout. That is their 2nd timeout, so just 1 remaining. 4:57 to go here in the second quarter. Ooh, we got some comments coming in now here on the fan zone. Take a look at what we've got here. Susie Roth, Lakeland, Florida again. Go Flyers. Rooting for Adam Roth. And we've got Come On Mounties. Miser 2 Wild. We got Dwight Forney earlier from Rockford, Illinois. So we've got someone down in Florida. It's our
furthest of the night.
That's the furthest
so far.
of the night.
But I'm just going to say, I know there's more than 4 people watching this live stream. Come on, guys. Roll them in here. Let's go. Get the comments coming.
Yep, Adam Roth and Zach Roth is who Susie Roth, as you would expect, is rooting for. Kiana Donley, go Mounties. And handoff. And lunging ahead for a nice gain on first down. It's Landon Freeze. He's starting to work his way. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that Pocus on that one? That was Pocus on that one. That's the magic of Pocus right there.
Last night was Friday the 13th.
Sure was, and I tell you, the Northmore Centerburg game I was at was absolutely wild. A lot of craziness going on in that one.
Yeah.
And this handoff spinning away from the defenders and getting maybe a yard on the play was Landon Freeze.
Looks like they are going to give him 1.
Big chance here for Mapleton's defense to force a 3 and out, get that ball back with some time here before the half to maybe try and put some points on the board.
Tell you what, both these teams sure do love the football. We're 45 minutes in, and we're already almost to halftime.
Toss to Pocus, cuts up field, and he looks to have enough for another Flyer first down.
7 yards on that carry for Pocus.
Chase Sword a little slow to get up there. Clock stops as Pocus got out of bounds. 3:38 to go here. And the Flyers offense looking
There goes Freeze.
much better this week as Freeze has enough for another first down. And you're wondering if this is a similar situation here as you take a look. Freeze getting through the defenders, getting enough for the first down. But we saw some teams in the area, surprisingly 0-3. Cary was another one, and you saw what they did last night, winning 40-3 over Upper Sandusky. Is this another situation where these teams played tough non-conference schedules to just get them ready for conference play?
Pocus is carrying defenders for an 11-yard gain.
They are wearing them down right now.
I think he had half the team on his back there, Andy.
I think he did. We'll take a look at the replay here. Let's see. We've got 3, 4, 5 people, 6. Just carrying the Mounties defense on his back gets enough for the first down. Taking a look at some of our big plays from this game here tonight. Nice run by Conroy, lowering the shoulder. Kept that Mapleton drive alive. They just haven't been able to get it going. And here's Pocus just refusing to go down. Just keep those legs moving, big fella.
And I tell you what, that's just determination and grit and heart right there by Pocus to get 11 yards on. Honestly, something that probably should have been stopped for 2 or 3.
Yeah. So Mapleton used their final timeout. 3:07 to go here until halftime. little bit of confusion here. Play clock down to 3, 2, 1. They just do get it off. And it's Freeze, and Freeze has been taking the big hits tonight. Pocus has been able to find the holes and really pick up the yardage.
Well, it's kind of one of those things. They shifted the tight end over. That kind of told Mapleton where the ball was going. It's been pretty common tonight. We've seen the Flyers offense, when they come out in that power set, they always run strong side. You shift that tight end over, they're like, okay, let's key on that side. That's your strong side. Let's take that away.
Don't forget, too, St. Paul will start with the ball to start the second half because they onside kicked it to begin the game and recovered. Coonley now throws. He's got his man open. It's Freeze. Freeze trying to get enough for the first down, and he is right about where he needed to get for it. It all depends where he stepped out of bounds.
They're going to mark him a yard short, it looks like. It's going to be a 10-yard completion.
Civista Wealth Management replay here as you see Coonley connecting with Freeze. And it is going to be just short of the first down, 3rd down and 1.
They're over 100 yards passing on the half now.
It's starting to look like same old with St. Paul. Where,
it is.
You know, rough non-conference, and then they get into Firelands play and be the Flyer team that everyone knows them to be, as there's another first down. Jenkins in on the tackle for the Mounties. Flyers have 2 timeouts.
No hurry either if you're St. Paul. If you punch one into the end zone here, awesome. If not, you're going to halftime up 14-0, knowing you get the ball back.
Yeah, they got to be very happy with what they've seen here tonight offensively. Coonley takes a shot
downfield,
and he throws it into heavy traffic. He had Cluting open on the outside, but he threw it into the tighter coverage, but Cluting was wide open on the top of your screen there on the right.
I tell you what, though, if he's able to not fall into that back leg and actually set strong base and make a good throw, he's got Lindenberg over the middle if he leads him with that pass instead of throwing it behind him.
So 2nd and 10 from the 25. 1:53 to go here until halftime. And handoff goes to Freeze. Freeze, and a penalty flag does come in.
More than likely in that type of area, probably going to be a hold.
Yeah, hold is the call.
Chop. Pretty clean game so far, though, by both teams. We're almost at halftime. We've only seen 4 flags. 2 on each. Well, 5 if you count the kickoff. The very first kickoff that went out of bounds by Mapleton. But now you're 2nd and 20. Again, minute 48. You're not super worried if you're St. Paul. Listen, you've scored 2 offensive touchdowns tonight.
Yeah.
That's progress.
I mean, we saw the progress last week. They couldn't quite put the drive together that they needed to win that game, but the offense started to show some signs of life. Coonley drops back, and that one almost intercepted. The big fella knocking it down, though, Tyson Welch. Jumped up there. He almost came away with the interception. Timed it perfectly. So 3rd and 20 now. It's just the one thing you got to do here if you're St. Paul is not turn it over. Coonley gets to the huddle. They got to move quick here. 7 seconds on the play clock. And they do get it off in time. Coonley looking downfield, takes a shot for the end zone. It's Freeze, and it is intercepted.
Did he get into the end zone, or are they going to mark him at the 1?
Yeah, that's the question. Is it going to be 1st and 10 from the 20, or are they going to be inside their own 1-yard line? But a big-time interception there from Chase Sword.
They're going to be on the 20.
Sword comes up.
I'm not too sure about that one, Andy. It looked like both feet were outside the goal line.
I think they're still discussing where this is going to be. I don't think they've made an official ruling as to where to put the ball. So is it where the feet are or where the ball was? Because where he intercepts it is at the 1, and I think that's where they're going to mark it.
They're going to spot it at the 1. And I tell you what, it's like a punt, number 1. Number 2, your defense has been blowing up the middle all night long.
Yeah, this is
safety territory.
This will be interesting. I think they're discussing right now with Mapleton coach Mitch Young about why the ball is placed where it is.
And it's the correct call. It is absolutely the correct call. He caught that ball at the 1, and his momentum carried him into the end zone along with Landon Freeze.
So the Flyers looking to get their second safety of the season. And handoff up the middle. Good guy to give it to. Whitman there. Gives them a little bit more breathing room. Be interesting to see if St. Paul uses timeouts here to force them to have to not, get a safety.
Left. Yeah, absolutely. You got 2 timeouts left. I would say after this play, if you're going to use them, you use them. You're going to let this clock, if you're Mapleton, you're going to let this clock run down as far as you can before you snap it, because the last thing you want to do is give this Flyer offense another chance at what would more than likely be a very short field.
Yeah, and if anything, too, if you're St. Paul, force a punt, force them to have to kick it out of their end zone. Maybe you get a bad snap. Maybe you block it. I'll see them use their timeouts probably after this play here. And
he's in the end zone.
It's a safety.
I don't know that he did. It is going to be a safety.
How about that? The second safety of the season for the Flyer defense. They tried the end around. Parker Nang with the carry, and he just had nowhere to go.
Nate Sandor out there on the contain.
So that makes it 16-0.
Can't quite see who. Was that Freeze that made the tackle?
Oh, yeah. Of course it was.
Who else, right?
Yeah.
He's not getting involved in the running game tonight, and he hasn't had a chance to do it on special teams yet. But he sure has done it defensively and in the receiving game.
Got Shane Sword in our fan zone commenting. I wonder who he's pulling for tonight. We've seen a couple swords.
He's also that coach and staff of Mapleton.
So that was almost a best case, worst case scenario in terms of that interception, because you get a big momentum play, but unfortunately with where he caught it and was down up inside the 1 yard line, led to the safety, and now it stays a 2-possession game, but now it's 16-0.
Well, now it's a free kick. It's a punt, right? And you've got your 2 most dangerous weapons back to return it. You still have 38 seconds left, by the way.
And they didn't have to use any timeouts either.
A decent return here gives you a chance to put up more points before half.
And the Flyers will start with the ball in the second half. So this is Freeze with it. He's across midfield. And I think we're going to get a block in the back. I think this one's coming back. Yeah, right about at midfield.
Great return by Freeze. But, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. There was a little bit of a block in the back there.
It's almost like anytime there is a decent return, it's because there's a penalty. And there's the push right there. Looks like that was including, yep.
That's almost the big part about that is, as a coach, is you always teach them if you can see their numbers, don't touch them.
Mm-hmm.
You just negated, because that's a spot foul. So that's 10 yards from the penalty. So now instead of the 30, you're at you're at your own 40.
Not only that too, but just the time that return took off the clock too. So now with just 29 seconds to go until half,
they're going to try to sling it.
Yeah, Freeze up top and a penalty.
Freeze was not set. Nobody. Okay. Nobody at the skill position was set for St. Paul there. Not a single player had even made it to the offensive line yet.
But the penalty is going to go against the Mounties for offsides. So that's interesting. I thought, yeah, I was with you. Nobody was set.
Yeah, there was not a single player on the St. Paul side that was set. Maybe that was the quarterback doing a phenomenal job seeing the defense was offside and just snapping it right now. But still, that's a tough call.
1st and 5 now. Coonley. And that was supposed to be a screen, but he had to get rid of it quickly because he was about to pay the price.
I tell you what, though, that may be a screen setup, but you always have an out route. You know that as well as I do. If he's able to see his out route, he's got Cluding standing at about the 35-yard line with not a Mountie near him.
Second and 5, 24 seconds to go. Coonley under center, and it's to Pocus. Pocus fights for a yard or two on the play, and that might be the final play here. Nope, the Flyers will take a timeout. They've got one remaining, 15 seconds to go. About as perfect of a first half as you could ask for if you're St. Paul.
Two penalties. You threw the one pick that ended up helping you more than it hurt you. Your offense has finally started clicking. But what's interesting is, like we've said before, you and I were here last week, and they're not doing anything different offensively. It's just now working when it didn't.
Well, I mean, you're built for your conference, right? And that's maybe what we're seeing here. This is a series with Mapleton that they have dominated. And they've pretty much had their way here again tonight. Mapleton's been able to move the ball, but they haven't been able to find the end zone.
Well, and we mentioned Carey, who is another normally very solid squad that started 0-3. Let's mention who they played. Undefeated Hopewell Loudon, undefeated Galleon, undefeated Lima Central Catholic.
Yeah.
These guys, 9-2, are the teams that they played. Like, you can't play better competition than what they do, and they're preparing themselves not just for conference play, but for that playoff push at the end of the year.
And big injuries to overcome, too, for the Flyers, and they're just trying to figure it out here as this run is going to be short of the first down.
He's going to get 4.
Clock continues to run, and that should do it here for the first half. 16-0. St. Paul has the lead at the half. Don't forget, we'll have the halftime marching band performances for you and stats on the other end of that. Stick around here live and free on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Sutton Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Sutton.
Look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time.
This next selection will bring you a special feature that combines music and dance in a way leaving you on the edge of your seats. This song was a breakout hit known for its edgy and minimalist sound that quickly became an anthem around the world. As the band sets the mood, we're thrilled to present a captivating dance performance by our Mapleton Sweethearts, who will be bringing Billie Eilish's Bad Guy to life with her incredible choreography. This performance is made possible by the generous support of Megan Kaiser of Rogues Hollow Regiment, who proudly champions the arts in our community. Sit back and enjoy as the Mapleton Sweethearts take the spotlight.
Introducing the St. Paul Marching Brass. Under the direction of Mr. Jacob Conley and Mr. Robert Futrell, the band is led on the field tonight by President Garrett Cook, Vice President Nettelberger, and Secretary Kaylee Clark. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 Marching Flyers. Tonight we present you a very special show highlighting both the current Marching Flyers as well as some Marching Flyers in years past. We begin with our current band playing a pop hit from another era, the crazy 80s. This song comes from Bonnie Tyler for the film version of Footloose. It ended up gaining so much mainstream popularity that it has stood the test of time and remains a classic to this day. Please enjoy our band playing the timeless hit, Holding Out for a Hero. With a marching drill designed by Senior Flag Corps Captain Callie Kirby, here is Castle on the Hill. very special performance of a traditional St. Paul marching brass song that has been around since the heyday of the loved former band director. Julie Burt, our alumni band of flag corps, combined with our current marching flyers, are thrilled to present to you the St. Paul classic, Malagueña.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, as you know, we come to slay. Let them know that we didn't come to play. Nah, we came to win. I'm ready for anything that they can bring. Bring it on, let me do my thing. I'm a giant
here for our NOMS Access Orthopaedics halftime show from Contractors Stadium here in Norwalk, Ohio, where the Flyers have finally figured things out for the first time this season. They lead 16-0 at the half. The offense has found the end zone twice. We had a safety in this game. It had a little bit of everything there in the first half, and if you're a Flyer fan, this is more accustomed to what you're seeing.
Yeah, we're going to pull over some stats and take a look at them. We were here last week, and we talked about how they were just on the verge of that breakthrough offensively. We've seen a lot of promise. We've seen their defense play absolutely stunning last week. This week, their offense has turned the table. 11 first downs, 88 yards rushing, 101 yards through the air. Granted, 86 of those are on one play for 189 yards total. They have the one turnover, which was the pick. He tried to throw it up into the end zone. It was picked at the one. But again, it didn't hurt him because it led to the safety. And I think the big difference this week is they only had 2 penalties in the first half for 15 yards.
Yeah, they were penalized a couple times last week at inopportune moments, and that was a big factor in that loss to Calvert. And they look like the team everyone expected them to be at the beginning of the season. They were the preseason favorite to win the Firelands Conference in the preseason poll. This is a Mapleton that was projected to finish 5th, and it's been a bit of a slow start, to say the least, for St. Paul at 0-3 coming into tonight's game. But we saw this last year. They started 0-3, and then they ran through the conference, won it again, and have just been a very difficult team for the rest of the Firelands to figure out, and it looks to be trending that way again here.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the other side of things, the stats really kind of tell the story here. Mapleton, they have 129 total yards. They have 83 yards rushing, 46 yards through the air. They've only committed 3 penalties for 30 yards, and they don't have any turnovers yet. So really, the difference in tonight's game has been the same thing that happened last week to St. Paul. Big plays.
Yeah.
An 86-yard touchdown pass, a 30-yard run, and a safety. That's their 16 points.
Yep. Don't forget to comment on Facebook and YouTube, wherever you might be watching this game. Let us know. Chime in on the Fan Zone. We will highlight your message when we get an opportunity to do so. We've seen some comments come in from Illinois, Florida, Aurora, as you tune in on this beautiful Saturday night here. It is just perfect late or mid-September weather, 73 degrees, clear. There's our cameraman, Shane. Shane is not as chilly as he was last week, that's for sure. He was bundled up last week. He was shivering last week. I saw a lot of shaking. Yeah. He's feeling much better this week.
This is a brisk fall evening for Saturday Night Football. I think this is what we all expect this time of year. This is football weather. I really hope that this is the kind of weather we get to withstand for the next 6 weeks.
You know what I think Shane is most pleased about this week is he found out that there's food up here in the press box. And last week, he was unaware of that. And he came up today, and I've never seen a hot dog. I mean, Kobayashi needs to look out in the hot dog contest because Shane had his way with that hot dog.
I tell you what, we were talking about that on the ride up. I was like, yeah, I had a shredded chicken last week, some popcorn. He was like, there was food up there. He was like, I'm definitely going to make sure I get in the press box at halftime.
This has been our NOMS Access Orthopaedics halftime show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Second half about to get underway here. Andy Jardy alongside Joshua Banks. And St. Paul will start with the ball. They onside kicked to begin the game and recovered. And this is taken up at the 20 and brought down right around the 35-yard line. Pocus on the return.
Their 2 most dangerous threats are threats all over the field. Punt return, kick return. They're dual running backs. Freeze already called an 86-yard touchdown pass. They're both dominant on the defensive side of the ball. They are literally do-it-all players for this St. Paul team. As I believe you said, Pocus was one of the leading tacklers.
Oh, yeah.
Freeze is top 5 in tackles for the team.
And much of the same as what we saw, but boy, Mapleton, I think they took some frustrations out on that play. That was an aggressive team tackle on Landon Freeze there. They blew this play up.
They're going to give him a yard, but man, oh man, that was we're coming out of the locker room angry type of tackle.
Oof. It is a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 on the 37. First time this season the Flyers have come out of the locker room at the half and had the lead. Here's a toss to the outside. It's Pocus. Pocus hurdles and gets tripped up.
Great tackle by Chase Sword, as Pocus might have had a corner there if he doesn't take out his ankles.
Yeah, Sword cut him down on that play. Gets a gain of maybe 2 on the play.
They're going to give him no gain, actually.
Okay.
They're going to mark it at the original line of scrimmage. And now this is where it gets interesting. St. Paul finally figured out the offensive game in that first half. What's Mapleton do to shut it down, and how does St. Paul respond now in a 3rd and 9?
Well, they're going to look to try and pick this up through the air. Coonley drops back, throws. His man is wide open. It's Freeze. Freeze is into Mapleton territory. It's a first down for the Flyers. Picks up 15 on the play. Coonley, time to throw the ball. He's made some good throws here tonight.
He's looked a lot better tonight than what we've seen last week. He's more confident in the pocket tonight, I think, than what we've seen against Calvert.
He's had time to throw it, too. That's been a big part of this as well. 1st and 10 from the 48. Just under 10 minutes to go now. It's Freeze, and he gets a couple on the play.
Give him 3, maybe 4. I'm going to give him 3.
Yeah, Coonley coming in to tonight. 14 of 36 for 90 yards, 3 interceptions on the season. It's been a struggle in the passing game, but he got his first touchdown throw tonight on that 86-yard strike.
And he's got 116 yards as of right now on the evening.
Yeah, so he's already passed his total for the first 3 games, and penalty flag comes in. I don't think it's a horse collar tackle. I think the penalty came in before that tackle.
I think it's going to be a hold on St. Paul. That was all jersey on the tackle.
Yeah, Freeze on the reception.
Yeah, that's all jersey. It's still really close, and it's still a dangerous tackle if you're Mapleton. But, I mean, it's clean. You take a look at it here. He grabs the backside of the jersey. I mean,
so they will be back into their own territory now. They go from 145 to the other 45.
And now you're, instead of 2nd and 7, you're 2nd and 18.
And that was a broken play, and Coonley's just going to get it off. Are they calling it an incomplete pass?
Definitely went forward, so you almost have to. Yeah, they go. Yeah, he got it off. It's forward.
There seems to be a bit more of a, I don't know if urgency is the word I'm looking for here out of the Mapleton defense, but they are playing aggressive here to start this 3rd quarter.
They're pinning their ears back, and they're coming after the St. Paul offense.
Yeah, whatever was said at halftime seems to have re-energized them. This is still a 2-possession game. And a chance here on a 3rd and long to force the Flyers into a punting situation. But Coonley has other thoughts, and that pass is dropped.
Lindenberger. Connor Lindenberger unable to hold it on. That's a great ball by Coonley. He put it on the numbers. Lindenberger just unable to reel it in.
Coming into tonight, Lindenberger, 2 catches, 17 yards on the season. He had a big catch earlier in the game to keep a drive alive. Big 3rd down conversion, but unable to come up with that one.
Freeze back to punt.
Sword. It's Mason Sword back there.
Beautiful punt.
Sure was. So much for potentially good starting field position for the Mounties. They will be inside their own 20.
It was about a 40-yard punt by Freeze.
No chance for a return either. Plenty of hang time.
Yeah,
Yep.
hang time was great. And that's great coverage, too, by St. Paul to not even allow the chance for a return.
So this will be the first drive of the second half for the Mounties. We saw the defense coming out with a little bit of fire under them. We'll see what the offense can do now. And they go up the middle.
Their leading rusher in the first half, Whitman.
Including in on the tackle, and Whitman just had nowhere to go. We saw Whitman with some big runs in that first half, some hard-hitting runs. He packs a punch in there.
He's that running back for this Mounties club that's not afraid to come run somebody over, put his nose in the action, and just take it.
It's a gain of 3 on the play. Play clock winding down, 3. And they do get it off. And Conroy's going to keep this. And he's still running, hurdles a defender, and he's got enough for a Mounties first down. Conroy fooled the defense. And we got a flyer coming up on the play. I think it was Cluding who's injured on the play. He got up for a moment and then he went back down. So we hope he's all right.
Helmet's off.
We will take a break here while they tend to Gunnar Cluding. We'll be back here live and free on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, as you know, we come to slay. Let them know that we didn't come to play. Nah, we came to win. I'm ready for anything that they.
We are back as Gunnar Cluding taken off the field, hobbled off the field. Hope he is all right. And Conroy's pass is incomplete.
Looking for Sword. Their favorite route to run is just that quick slant. We've seen them doing it a lot in warm-ups, and Freeze almost got a hand on it. So did Lindenberger. Little overthrown. And when you have smaller receivers like Mapleton does, you got Chase Sword listed at 5'10", and they're going up against a 6'3" defensive back in Lindenberger. Just like we talked about last week with Calvert, an overthrow is not a good thing when you've got bigger DBs than your receivers.
And this is where it starts to get interesting, too, because they run that wing T offense, but you're starting to run out of possessions and time here, and they might have to be forced to start throwing the ball, which is something they haven't done a whole lot of. As this run here by Conroy goes for a few, it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
I'm going to give him, say, 3 yards, 3rd and 7. Not really somewhere they've excelled tonight, Andy. The 3rd and long, now the 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, they've kind of turned around, handed off to Whitman, and he's done his job as that fullback. But when you've gotten into this 3rd and 7 and you've kind of forced a throw, you've only completed 2 passes on the evening, both of those on 3rd down, but that was all the way back in the first quarter.
Big 3rd down here for the Mounties. Handoff is to Whitman, still fighting for yards, and he'll be a little bit short of the first down, probably about 4th and 2. And we'll see what they do here. I would imagine we'll probably see them go for it.
It's going to get 5. Yeah, you almost have to go for it here if you're the Mounties. The offense you run doesn't really allow you to punt it here and give it back to St. Paul, who also runs the ball a bunch and wants to eat clock.
Yeah, it's not a quick strike offense from the Mounties. They like to churn it out on the ground, wear you down.
But again, if you're St. Paul, I thoroughly, you expect this ball to go to Whitman. He just got 5 on that carry. They only need 2. But if you remember the last time in this situation, they stopped him on a 4th down.
And they give it to Whitman. No, they don't. Conroy kept it, and he got leveled in the backfield.
I'm curious to watch the replay here because Raphael took the ball from him. I'm not sure if they're going to count that as a turnover, as Cluting's up, ready to go back in the game.
Yeah, take a look at this again. He definitely lost possession of this ball before he's down.
Yeah, he absolutely took the ball from him, no doubt about it. Great play by Raphael Gross.
I got fooled on that. I thought they handed it off. And next thing I know, Conroy's in the backfield going down for a big loss, and the Flyers get another turnover. And here's a handoff. And this is where you got to see, if you're Mapleton's defense, you got to get a stop. Keep yourself within striking distance of this one.
And a gain of 4. Well, end on the stop. But now you're going to get a heavy dose of Pocus and Freeze for the rest of this game.
Yeah, the Flyers can be very methodical with their offense. Keep running it. There's Pocus. Muscles his way forward for a couple. It'll be 3rd and short.
Going to get about 3 there, so it's going to be 3rd and 3.
And number 4, Mason Sword. He's to the 24-yard line. Brings up 3rd down and 3.
And here's where we've kind of seen St. Paul run that play action all night long. Run a play action, slip out one of your tight ends or even one of those backs out of the backfield and find them over the middle. This is your spot to do it if you're going to do it, 3rd and 3.
Could be a screen too, but they're just going to play it safe and go with Pocus right up the middle. And he is inside the 15-yard line. 1st down Flyers as they're in the red zone.
Gain of 10 on the play. Then again, like we just said, a heavy dose of Pocus and Freeze. If you're the Flyers, you don't have to put it in the end zone again. You really don't. You're up 16-0. Your defense is doing its job. You want to score again because your offense has finally touched pay dirt on the season. But you don't have to.
Handoff goes to Freeze. He gets off the first defender. He sneaks his way through the other defenders, and he takes it in for 6. Landon Freeze from 14 yards out.
That was an impressive run by Landon Freeze.
22-0 Flyers. Your Civista Wealth Management replay. He got hit in the backfield, and that didn't stop him. Changed direction, and then went in untouched. And the Flyer offense finds the end zone for the 3rd time tonight. It's 23-0. 4:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Stick around. Mounties will get the ball back when we're back.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think
Back here in Contractor Stadium, Norwalk, Ohio, where the Flyers are up 23-0 here in this Firelands conference opener for these two schools. Andy Jardy alongside Joshua Banks as this kick is to the 20 and out to about the 31-yard line is where that will be returned. Landon Jenkins on the return.
We just talked about this, too, at halftime while we were off the air, Andy. We looked at St. Paul's schedule the rest of the way out. They go Plymouth. They have Plymouth. They have Crestview. They have New London. We said Western's going to be a good game. And then, obviously, what ended up deciding the conference last year is Week 10 against Monroeville, at Monroeville this year.
Yeah, Monroeville still unbeaten on the season, 4-0. Handoff here. Goes for a few. Colton Whitman, and this is what we were talking about with the way that this offense is for Mapleton. It's just not built to come back from a deficit like this late in the game. They're going to have to find some scoring quickly to give themselves a chance.
And they just haven't had a big play happen yet this evening. Their longest play of the evening was a 29-yard pass. Other than that, it was a 15-yard run, and then everything else under that's under 10 yards.
And they're going to try and pick this one up through the air on the little route to the outside. The wheel route not there as the pass is incomplete. Mason Sword just out of his reach.
They brought Sword in motion. They kind of faked the handoff inside to Whitman. They look for Sword, but I'll tell you what, Freeze got beat. He was still running step for step with him.
3rd down and 5. On their own 37. Mounties trying to keep this drive going. They need to get to the 42. Conroy under pressure. He's going to try and pick it up with his feet. And he's
going to be about a yard short.
Just short. And I would imagine we will see the Mounties go for it here. 4th and 1.
Again, Freeze there on the tackle.
He's all over the place.
He's one time where you can literally say offense, defense, special teams.
Yeah. Well, the Mounties are going to have to snap this one quick here. Or they're going to have to use a timeout, which is not what they want to do at this moment. They're going to get to the line, 2. They get it off in time. Handoff up the middle.
I don't know that he got it.
He might have on the second effort. It's all going to come down to the spot here.
It's going to be really, really, really close. I really don't know that he got it even on that second effort. If he did, it's going to be by the nose.
He's got to get to the 42, and they're going to give it to him. 1st down.
They're going to give him the almost past the 42.
I could be wrong, but is that their first 4th down conversion tonight? I feel like the Flyers have stopped them on every single 4th down attempt.
It is.
And they got that one by the slimmest of margins there.
When I think we're in a situation now where I've spoke about it at a couple of games that I've been to this year. If you're the Mounties, you have got to get a little sense of urgency going here. I know it's only the 3rd quarter, but you're down 23 points.
Here's another handoff that gets maybe a yard on the play. Gabe Osborne, he was our player spotlight at the beginning of the game. He had a nice Week 1 performance against Loudonville, but he has really not been a factor here tonight.
They have really shut down. The Mounties are going to end up with over 100 yards in rushing, but that's because they'll have about 35 carries to do it. So this defense has done an amazing job.
Conroy fakes it, and he's rolling out. Penalty flags coming in. Hurdles over a couple defenders and is brought down. It looks like he'll have enough for a 1st down, but I think this is coming back.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a hold.
And that is the signal. It is a hold. So that'll wipe out a Mountie first down and put them into a second and long situation as the clock continues to quickly become an enemy for them at 1:32 to go here in the third quarter.
And again, almost every play, the play clock has gone under 10 seconds before they've snapped the ball. So we've got to see a little bit more. I know you want to run this wing tee. I know you want to play power football. But when you're down by this much, you've got to have a second boost. You've got to have a second, almost a second playbook for situations like this.
On the clock.
Second and 19.
Yeah, they are all the way back on their 33. They're going to have to get into Flyer territory to pick up a first down. Conroy again running, and ball is out. You know, he was very careless with the ball there. And they're lucky to maintain possession. And we've got a Mountie down on the play, but you gotta be more secure with the ball here. He's holding it out. It's just way too easy to knock that thing out. And somehow, Mapleton able to secure possession of that, and I think we've got a cramp. And we got two players down.
We've got one cramp, and then we had another one that went down, which I'm assuming was a little bit more severe because I watched the trainers kind of sprint out to the first player down.
Yeah, it looks like it's just out of our camera shot. Conroy was the one cramping up.
And that's something I think that we've seen him do a lot tonight when he's scrambled, is he's very careless with the football. He doesn't tuck anything. He wants to hold everything kind of out here to get extra yards and to do what he needs to do.
That is Lucas Jenkins, who is up and walking under his own power, which is very good to see.
Freshman, 5'10", 250.
He's only a freshman.
He's going to grow probably another 3-4 inches, maybe more, and he's probably going to put on another 15 to 20 pounds. So you're looking at a kid by his senior year for this Mountie's offensive line could be standing 6'3" and be about 280.
It's incredible. So here we go, 3rd and 11. And we got some whistles. So say something with the clock maybe? I'm not sure why they would have.
I think they're trying to figure out where the ball's supposed to be or what is going on. 10, yeah, Conroy has to come off of the field because of the injury, because of the cramp. So he's going to have to come out for one play.
So yeah, that will be Mason Sword now, will be the quarterback on this play. As he runs in with the call from sidelines, Coach Mitch Young.
It'll actually be Chase Sword that's going to take the quarterback snap. Mason ran the play in to go out to play receiver.
And the pass is incomplete. That Chase Sword.
Yep. That screenplay was read beautifully by Tristan Nikolai. He stayed home and bear hugged Whitman as soon as he caught it.
Conroy comes back in. If they go for this on 4th and 11.
Looks like they're in punt formation as Freeze is going to go back to return it. 28 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Deep punt formation for the Monties, number 1, Chase Sword. Back deep for St. Paul, number 24. Landon
Sword
Freeze.
punts it away. Freeze
gonna
catches
have a
it.
chance to turn-
Oh yeah, I
return
think
it.
his knee was down when he caught it. Right when he catches it, yeah, his
knee's down. Absolutely the right call.
At the 29-yard line.
Tell you what, if that knee doesn't go down, the right side of the field had a lot of green grass in front of him.
So the Flyers will take over. 1st and 10 on the 29. 22 seconds to go here, third quarter. A completely different looking Flyers team this week.
I would say something about not being able to do well in their own territory. However, Nate Sandor just dropped a touchdown.
He sure did. I think one of those cases of he was running before he caught the ball. That went right off his hands. They were going for the quick strike to potentially put this thing with a running clock.
Well thrown ball by Coonley. Something we've seen a lot out of him tonight.
Yeah, he's been much more deliberate with his throws, I would say. He's been much quicker getting the ball out, really hitting on those quick strike passes, as this run will go nowhere.
No gain. Focus. That's the first time he's been stopped in the backfield all night.
Yeah, and that should be it for the third quarter here. All Flyers here tonight looking to get into the win column for the first time this season. 12 minutes away from doing so. Stick around. We'll have the fourth quarter for you here live and free on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains.
Shane getting in on the action here. Love the spirit that he brings to our broadcast. As there's a penalty on this first play of the fourth quarter.
Be a false start.
Penalty, 5 yards against St. Paul.
False start.
Might be the least flagged game that either one of us have been a part of all year.
I would agree with that. Yes, because there were plenty of penalties last night in the Northmore Centerburg game, and then last week when I was at Mount Gilead against Grove City Christian. That third quarter was brutal.
Even here last week, there were several.
Yeah, I wonder if I still have that in my notes from last week in my notebook with me, how many penalties there were, but there were a lot.
12.
They're putting time back on the clock here.
They're going to put the quarter back to the 12-minute mark.
Every second counts. As Coonley takes a shot downfield, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Levi Rosbert.
Is incomplete. Brings up fourth down.
That's another potential touchdown dropped.
Yeah.
But again, I love what I'm seeing out of Coonley this week. He stepped up in the pocket right there, and he threw a laser.
Deep punt formation for St. Paul, number 24. Landon Freeze. Back deep. The Mounties, number 4. Mason Sword.
Mason Sword back to receive this punt. And Freeze just got that off. He's a little nonchalant with that. And Sword able to fall on it And somersault his way into St. Paul territory.
They're going to put that ball directly on the 50.
Yeah.
As Nikolai kind of did a little flip over top of him as a funny.
Yes, little gamesmanship there.
You love to see it, though. You really do. I mean, the chippiness that I seen last night, coming out here and watching these two teams just play a clean game. This is what football's all about.
And it's a handoff to Whitman up the middle.
He's going to get 3.
So it looks like they're just going to be content with what they're at here in this game, and maybe you keep trying, you stick with the offense that you know to try and build some momentum going into next week. Because I thought we might see them come out, and here we go. They're going to run play action and try and take a shot downfield. Conroy just does get it off, and fans want intentional grounding.
Pretty sure he was outside the tackles.
So it is incomplete. 3rd down and 7. They haven't had time when they've dropped back to pass. He's been under so much pressure.
Well, and I think that's the difference that we've seen on both sides of the ball tonight. On the St. Paul side of things offensively, Coonley hasn't really rolled out. Coonley has kind of dropped back. They're going to reset the play clock. Coonley's dropped back. He's made good throws. Conroy hasn't really had the time because everything that he's tried to do has been on the run.
Rolls out, quick fires, and in and out of the hands of Chase Sword.
4th and 7, 11 minutes to go. If you're Mapleton, you have to go for this.
All of a sudden, nobody can catch the ball.
No. And that's a great throw by Conroy.
I mean, the quarterbacks are making throws right to where they need to go, and they just haven't been able to come down with them. So here we go, 4th and 7. I think they're 1 of 3, 1 of 4 on 4th down tonight.
1 of 4.
And again, no time to throw, gets it off, but it is over the head of Mason Sword, and it's another turnover on downs. Flyers will take over.
Pressure came from Raphael Gross. If you're Mapleton, you have to trust your quarterback from the pocket. I know you're running the wing tee, and I respect the wing tee. I've watched Lucas run it for many, many, many years. The offense is very capable. And if you have the proper players in the offense, you can have quick hit plays. You really can. But at some point, you have to trust your quarterback in the pocket to make the throws.
This run might have actually lost a yard or got back to the line of scrimmage.
Pocus is going to get back to the line of scrimmage. 10:30 left here in the 4th quarter.
This will be 2nd and 10 from the 47.
St. Paul is perfectly content with running these last 10 minutes out.
Yeah, the play clock under 10. They didn't break the huddle till there was about 13 on it. And Coonley throws, and it's a completion. And that's probably going to be a late hit. No? Interesting. Lindenberger on the catch.
That was...
it wasn't a hard hit, but it was a late hit.
Yeah, that's... So here's the thing with that. If the player's not standing there, does he fall over? If the Mapleton player is not on the ground right beside him, does he fall over? Number one. Number two, that's got to be some sort of penalty. Even if it's not a personal foul,
Oh, high snap. They're actually going to get bailed out by a penalty.
False start.
It's interesting tonight. So they throw an interception, which actually works out to their benefit because it led to a safety, and then that potentially could have been a disaster of a play. Could have been a big loss, could have been a fumble recovery. Instead, it's just going to be a loss of 5.
And now you're going to go from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8. Big deal.
Yeah. Low snap this time. Cooley picks it up. And it's over to Freeze. Freeze has got it. He's got enough for the first down as he's thrown out of bounds at about the 38-yard line.
13 yards on the reception there.
When in doubt, just throw it in his direction. He has made play after play tonight. .10:01 to go here, 4th quarter. 23-0. Flyers have the lead.
And let's not take away from Coonley because that was a amazing throw.
And just to get the snap, too. It was a low snap he was able to pick up. Here goes Pocus. Spun around and brought down inside the 35-yard line.
He's going to get 5 on the carry. I'll tell you what, they're content with running the clock, but if they can get a big play and put up some more points, they're definitely going to do so.
Yeah, I mean, your offense, they've been desperate for touchdowns to start the season. They didn't get their first offensive touchdown until tonight. So any chance they can get to score, they're going to want to take it. I mean, you got to continue to... The offense has been better tonight. It hasn't been perfect, but you got things you still need to work on as you get into conference play now and things to work and improve on. So, yeah, you got to run your offense. As we are now under 9 minutes. 3rd and 2. Handoff goes to Freeze, and he's going to be a little bit short.
He's going to get 1.
Colton Whitman in on the tackle. If he's not running you over on offense, he's doing it on defense.
He's another one of the guys, just like we talked about with Landon Freeze. He's all over the field, doing everything right. Hard-nosed, gritty young man that you can tell loves the game of football.
Here we go, 4th and 1. And it's Freeze, and I think he's got enough.
The spot. It's absolutely going to depend on the spot and where they put him at.
You know what I've yet to see this year, and I'm hoping we get it right now? I've yet to see them bring out the chains for measurement.
They're going to say short. They're not even going to measure it.
Wow. So he had to get to what, the 28-yard line?
Yeah, and it looks like from our perspective, he's inside of that. Why isn't there a measurement at least here? If you're the St. Paul Flyers sideline, you should at least be asking for a measurement. That's exactly what we're going to get.
All right. It's just the little things. I've yet to see the chain gang run out and have to measure. And here we go. We're going to get one.
Well, and here's the thing. According to the placement of the ball, this is going to be really, really close. Because I'll tell you right now, from the original spot that they had the ball, they've moved it back. Because it looks like they had him right about the 28-yard line, and now he's just inside of the 29. This is going to be extremely close.
Yeah, based on where they've moved it, he's going to be short. Yeah, they haven't even...
Well short.
Well, there we go, though. Short. That was fun, though. We got the measurement. I'm still...
It looks like he got there. on the replay, it looks like he got there. And here's the thing, it's where he extends to. It's not where you find him at in the pile.
Should have let him make the call here.
He would have seen it.
And now they've moved the ball up even closer to the 29 than the original spot that they had, Andy.
Yeah, that's a weird spot. Everything about that was just bizarre. Conroy keeps it, and he goes nowhere.
He gets hit hard.
Yeah, he's still. We got one player down here. Is that Shaw Dreebless? That's. Yeah, he just went down.
Not exactly sure. Kind of a little, shove there on the backside, but nothing egregious to. See if he gets up, walks on his own power, but yeah, he just kind of was running with the play and just kind of stopped and dropped.
He's like grabbing towards his face. We'll take a break here as they tend to him.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe.
8:01 to go here, and now under 8 minutes as we are back in action here, fourth quarter. Shaw was able to get up and walk off on his own power, which was good to see. And another handoff here. Goes for maybe a yard.
That's Osborne on the carry, and now you're going to have 3rd and 8. You got maybe 2. We're getting to see tonight why St. Paul, A, won the Firelands Conference last year, and B, are always so competitive.
Yeah.
Their team that they have, these young men on the sidelines, are built to play Firelands football. And it's great that you play the schedule that you play in non-conference because you get prepared for this. You face tougher competition than what you expect yourself to see in conference play.
And a timeout as the play clock was winding down. So the Mounties will take a timeout. I mean, yeah, there's a reason this team was picked to win the Firelands Conference again this year. Especially now, too, with the expanded playoffs, like, you can lose all your non-conference games. It's fine. As long as you get it taken care of in conference, you're still going to make the postseason.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. You're learning what your team's capable of. As 2 of their best players, from what I was told, and Jack Stieber and Bronson Cecil, both running backs, are standing down on the sidelines. They got hurt week 1. And from what I've been told, I've talked to a few people, those are their 2 best athletes. And they've got 23 points. Their offense is figuring it out with what they've had to put in place. And they're figuring it out at the right time. We call this the second half of the season for a reason.
Yeah.
You play your 3 games against opponents that you really probably shouldn't play them against. And you get ready for this, and you learn. In those 3 games, you learn what you're capable of, and you play with that in conference play.
It's easier said than done, but hitting the reset switch and just completely forgetting your non-conference those first 3 weeks and saying, hey, we're 0-0 this week. Let's get after it. And that's what they've done here tonight. Here's a completion and a first down for the Mounties. Chase Sword comes down with it.
12-yard completion.
Gain is to the 43-yard line. Good enough for a first down. Mounties.
And interesting there, Andy, why, if you're Chase Sword, you're down 23, why aren't you getting out of bounds after that catch?
That's a good point.
Now the clock's still running. As Whitman is tackled in the backfield for the first time tonight.
Yeah, they've done a much better job, St. Paul has here in the second half, of not letting him get anything. Because he had some big runs in the first half to keep drives alive, pick up some third downs that they needed. And
their longest play of the second half has been that 12-yard completion that they just had.
Yeah.
And again, you're into 10 seconds from the play clock left, and you're just now getting the play into the huddle.
Yeah, the lack of urgency has been interesting to say the least, as Conroy, again, under pressure, throws it away. I mean, he just has not had any time to throw the ball. And a lot of what he's had to do is dodge his own lineman in the backfield when he's been rolling out to throw the ball.
Well, and again, he's rolling out, and at any level, we see it. You and I watch college football. We watch the NFL. You see it at every level. When you get that quarterback in a rollout, it gives the defensive line, I don't want to say easier pressure, but you're taking him away from his protection.
.540 to go here, 3rd and 10. It's a pitch to Whitman. And Whitman, one of his better runs here in the second half, gets about 5.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to give him 5.
You see just the lowering of the shoulder that he's done so well tonight.
And how about the pancake block by Mason Sword on the outside there on that play?
So here we are approaching 5 minutes, 4th and 5. This might be the last offensive play for the Mounties if they don't convert this here.
Yeah, I thoroughly expect St. Paul to come out and just run the clock out. 1 or 2 first downs. The Mounties have already used the timeout.
And they're going to try and pick it up through the air, and it's knocked away by Connor Lindenberger.
I tell you what, I know he knocked that away, but that's a pick 6 waiting. He broke on that route. He ran the receiver's route for him, as you're going to see on the replay. That's a pick 6 waiting to happen for Connor Lindenberger. If he puts both paws up there, there's nobody in front of him.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. He it almost seemed like he didn't want to intercept that.
No.
He was almost just knocking that away to give them the ball. I mean, they were going to get the ball back anyway, but he got in there, disrupted it, turnover on downs.
Well, and it's one of those things where, hey, if you miss that interception, that could end up in the receiver's hands.
True. And still on his feet going. Boy, I thought for a second Freeze was going to stay off the ground.
I thought he was still in the backfield.
Well, thank goodness we have the beauty of replay here so you can see what happened exactly. Yeah, I thought he was down too, and then I look over and the play's still going.
It looks like in the replay he uses that left hand to stay up.
He almost did it twice at the end of the run too. Take a look here. So initially right there, boom, doesn't go down. And then right here he lands on the defender. I thought he was going to stay up and keep going.
Give him a gain of 12 on a phenomenal run by Landon Freeze.
And now they go to Pocus. And he's knocked out of bounds. 4:07 to go. But he's got enough for a first down.
It's going to get all the way down to the 25, gain of 11.
And we've got a photo of the two Flyers tonight, dressed in their pilot uniforms. Adam is having way too much fun next to me. Oh, goodness. You feel better now? He feels better. Adam feels better. It's all that matters at the end of the day.
I'll tell you what, this has thoroughly been a fun game to be at.
Here's Pocus.
Pocus has an edge.
Looking for
He's
touchdown number 2 of the night, and there it is.
From 25 yards. I tell you what, I'm not sure who's still left in this game watching, but Andy and I have a very difficult decision to make when this game's over as far as who our MVP is going to be. Because Landon Freeze has 2 touchdowns, and now Pocus has 2 touchdowns. These guys have been a powerhouse on the offensive side of the football tonight.
The difference is going to come down to who recorded the safety. It's all about that safety. And now this extra point here could potentially make these last 4 minutes go pretty quick if we get the running clock. And it's up, and it is good. 30-0. St. Paul with the lead. We'll be back for the final 4 minutes, and they'll be quick with the running clock. All Flyers here tonight on this beautiful Saturday night. 30-0 over Mapleton. We'll have a running clock now for the final 4 minutes of this game. And the clock has started to run already, so. See if the Mounties have a drive in them to try and, oh man, they almost didn't even recover the kick. Similar to the opening kick of the game. Just landed in an open area of the return team and
died.
Yeah.
That ball didn't even bounce.
Didn't move anywhere.
That hit and died. I thought it was going to bounce out of bounds or something.
Yeah. Just a tough game for Mapleton tonight. Couldn't really get their offense going. Right off the bat, St. Paul with the onside kick. They turned that into points. As this run here goes for maybe 2. That's kind of been the story of the night. The runs just, they haven't been there. It's been 1, 2. First half they had some, they were able to put together a couple drives that just couldn't find the end zone. As this Flyer defense now, this is back-to-back weeks we've seen this defense play really well.
Absolutely, and again, it's all about the competition they play in the non-conference. Huron and Edison are both going to put up a lot of points for the rest of the season. They went up against the Calvert team that's kind of more their size, more their ability, and 12-6 was the score when we were here last week.
Here's a run to the outside that goes nowhere.
Looks like he'll get 4.
Parker Nage on the carry. And we are under 2 minutes. Don't forget, we'll have our NOMS Access Orthopaedics postgame show for you. We'll have our MVP interview for you. And the very difficult decision as to who that MVP interview will be with. My vote was for Shane, personally, on camera. I thought he did a phenomenal job and was worthy of that interview. Josh felt otherwise.
Shane always is worthy.
I'm not sure why, but hopefully you guys can sort that out on the drive home.
Another penalty on Mapleton. Just inside of 60 seconds here, Andy.
Yeah, this is more of the St. Paul that we expected to see and everyone else expected to see. This has been a dominating performance by them. The offense started to figure it out. The defense has now 2 weeks in a row played really well. Special teams has played well 2 weeks in a row. And here we go again. 0-3 last year. And then they took off. And that's at least how it's going to start again this year, as they will get into the win column for the first time this season. And they have now not lost a Firelands Conference opener since 2004. Mapleton will once again lose their Firelands Conference opener, as they will get back to the drawing board, try and figure things out next week when they will host Western Reserve. Schedule doesn't get any easier, 3-1. And the clock strikes 0, and that will do it here. The Flyers are in the win column for the first time this season. A convincing 30-0 win over Mapleton. Stick around, we'll have some stats for you in our MVP interview on the other side of the break here on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
Look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Ruthless, ruthless. Time to go hard and put your game face on. Ruthless, ruthless. This is the moment movies get based on. This is the moment movies get based on. Fire in the bones, watch me fire up the songs. Let it burn 'em, burn 'em, burn 'em. Got the fire in the bones. Our desires, they become who we are. We go hard, giving up, no we're not. Yeah, the first step is showing up. Now we're here blowing up. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. Yeah, the first step is showing up, now we're here. Yeah, the first step is showing up, hear them cheer. Yeah, the first step is showing up, now we're here. We're blowing up, hear them cheer. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. Ruthless, ruthless. Give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless.
It's our NOMS Access Orthopaedics post-game show from Norwalk, Ohio tonight, where the Flyers get their first win of the season in dominating fashion, 30-0 over the Mapleton Mounties. Andy Jardy with you. Josh Banks on the call as well, but he is currently tracking down our MVP interview of the night, which we'll have for you in a couple of minutes here. I think he had to run into the locker room. I'm not quite sure where he went, but we'll get him back up here and we'll have that interview for you. As we take a look at the final stats here for you, St. Paul, we had seen the offense struggle their first 3 weeks, finally got it going here tonight. The defense was great again, back-to-back weeks now that the defense has played really well. 20 first downs to Mapleton's 11. And we saw some balance from the offense tonight too. They did a very nice job mixing in a couple passes every now and then. They had the big 86-yard touchdown strike to Landon Freeze and 316 total yards of offense. Pretty clean game. Penalties were a couple, false starts and offsides, things like that. Nothing really egregious there. And then the turnovers, actually, St. Paul threw an interception, but it was intercepted at the 1. That led to a safety, so it was almost a beneficial turnover, if there is such a thing. And it is a 30-0 win for the St. Paul Flyers as they get into the win column for the first time this season. They were the preseason favorite in the Firelands Conference, and now they move into a 4-way tie with Monroeville, Western Reserve, and South Central, who are all at 1-0. And looking ahead for these two teams, Mapleton next week will host Western Reserve, who is 3-1, and St. Paul will hit the road for the first time in 3 weeks. They haven't been on the road since that first game of the season at Huron. They will travel to Plymouth next week as St. Paul, much like they did last year, 0-3 start, and then they rattled off a bunch of wins in a row, looking to do the same again this year. As far as the series matchup goes now between these two teams, St. Paul now 31-3 in the last 34 meetings. Last year's meeting 49-30. This one much more one-sided and dominant by the Flyers. And we will be back with you here on the postgame show. We'll have that MVP interview for you, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Josh Banks back here with our Miller Excavating MVP, junior running back Landon Freeze. First thing first, 30-0 victory. Not only your guys' first win of the season, but you just helped Coach get his first win of his career. How does that make you guys feel?
We feel really good about it, and feel we're good to get a dub, conference game where real season starts.
Absolutely. I had the pleasure of being here last week, watch you run the kickoff back for 90 yards. Super impressed with just your all-around ability. Tonight it was you and Nick Pocas, really a two-headed monster in the backfield. You had 150 total yards, 2 touchdowns, and had the tackle for the safety. What's it been like for you guys? I know you had a couple of your big playmakers go down with injuries in week 1. What's it been like for you guys? Nick steps back from center to play running back and really has fit in well with you.
Yeah, well, we changed things up from, week to week, honestly, and, we just tried to keep getting better. It was hard to adjust, especially for him, I think, but he's done pretty well and he runs hard, so I think it's gone all right for us without them. It hurts us a little bit on defense, but I think our defense played really well tonight.
And you guys' defense played really well last week, too, against Calvert. You come out here, you pitch a shutout in your opening conference game. Now you go on next week to play Plymouth, another team that's kind of in the same boat as you guys are. They got their first win of the season early on, kind of struggled ever since. What's it gonna be like for you guys this week to prep for that and get ready for conference game number 2 in the second half of the season, as we like to call it, because this is really where it matters?
Yeah, we just gotta show up to practice, be mentally focused, work hard every single rep. Yeah, just get a good game plan and know it.
All right, Landon, so we're going to let you look into that camera. Shout out anybody you want to, as many people as you want. Thank whoever you want to thank for getting you to where you are at today.
Shout out all my coaches, putting me in position to succeed. Shout out offensive line. They blocked pretty well. And shout out Nick. Switch positions, did good.
That's our Miller Excavating MVP, junior running back, strong safety, linebacker, kicker, punter, kick returner, punt returner, Mr. Do-It-All, Landon Freeze for the St. Paul Flyers. Hey, thanks so much and congratulations on your win.
Yep, thank you too.
30-0 your final here tonight as the St. Paul Flyers get into the win column for the first time this season. They get Firelands conference play started off in dominating fashion with a big win over Mapleton. Final thoughts, Josh?
Completely different St. Paul team than we've seen last week, and really a bounce back. Conference champs picked at the beginning of the year. They've got 8 more weeks to go to prove it, and the showdown comes down in week 10 in Monroeville. And I'll give everybody a little spoiler. I'll be in Monroeville for that game, which might decide the Firelands.
Very well could, and someone's already looking ahead 5 weeks down the schedule. So perfect for the media, right?
Absolutely.
We always look ahead and overlook all the other games. We just want to get to the big ones, but got to get there first, and this is a good start for St. Paul as they now will take on Plymouth next week. Mapleton will host Western Reserve. So that is going to do it for us here on the OH Report on this Saturday night. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Josh Banks on play-by-play, Adam directing, Shane on camera. I'm Andy Jardy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone, and we will see you all again soon here on the OH Report.